Hola, hola, hola. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to the Pulsechain Times. Hey, buddy, how are you doing, Mr. Pulse Ray Vision?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. It is a beautiful day, and there's a lot of cool things happening right now. We're just waiting for the market to catch up to the community and the building right now. I feel like.
The market catch up to the community. What do you think about that, Mr. Abdul?
I think everything on the pulse chain is basically early. That's for sure. But there's, certain protocols, certain teams that I think are going to really shine when it hits.
I agree. I agree. Welcome, you guys. I don't know if Mr. Hilarski is going to join us. I sent him a reminder, and he said, I'm getting a haircut for Max. So there we are. He might join us as maybe when he sees this, or mobilely, or when he gets home, or I'm not sure.
Okay.
But we shall see.
We can cover what he'd probably talk about anyway.
Yeah.
We can't have Maximus running around with nappy hair. We've got to have that kid clean cut.
It's priority. He's like our mascot or something. Yeah, we got to keep him. I mean,
and I think, don't you guys think that Panama is getting ready to be somewhat hot?
Panama, like on the equator? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to get hot there.
Yeah, I think I don't know if I would want to visit there during summer months. I think when we went was a good time. That was perfect weather when we were there, you guys.
Oh yeah, and I still got a killer sunburn.
Yeah, you did. But holy moly, you couldn't ask for better weather and a tropical climate.
Totally. I look forward to it next year.
This is a full tilt cold brew. This whole freaking thing. It was full to the top. I love cold brew. So let's see. What else do we want? What do we want to talk about here? Let's talk a little bit about news on what's going on, and then let's dive into some of the changes that are going on with the anti-gravity project, because I know there's some cool stuff going on there. You guys have been having some fun in the evenings over in the rooms and on YouTube.
Released a game for DGens that's akin to Russian roulette, where basically you can, right now it's free, you can just join and you just pay Pulse. It's live on mainnet, and basically 100 men go in the room and only one walks out. So you can go in there, buy a bunch of slots. There's a cool 3D globe. You hit the button that snipes in honor of our Pink Miswell, our patron saint of dark matter. And you hear the gun crack, the globe spins, and then boom, you find out who's been eliminated.
And is it really 100 to 1? Is that like the set odds?
It was 369 to 1. But we realized that 369 takes too long to play. And even 100 takes a while to play, because we've been using different wallets to try and see which one is the best at estimating gas fee. So, because it's just one block, each shot is one block. And we're still getting hung up with OKX. We're still getting hung up with MetaMask, a bunch of them. We've tried a bunch of them. So we actually added a button where you can eliminate 5 or 10 players at a time to make it even faster for those impatient DJs that want to know if they won or lost their money quickly.
That would take forever. I don't know if you guys remember this at all, when Ty and I used to do streams, and we used to load wallet addresses up on a wheel. And spin the wheel. Holy moly, that took forever. that just took absolute hours of time. That was unbelievable. But good time, though. Good time.
Yeah. We kind of reached a point where we're still growing as a community and streaming and reaching out. But the truth is, everyone that wanted dark matter basically had their bags. So there was no one buying dark matter. There was no one selling dark matter. It was just following Hart's Law, which since December has not been a pretty picture. And so we thought, how can we add some excitement and some buy pressure to the dark token? So when this goes live with DAI tokens, you can buy it for $5 a seat, and basically 20% of that goes to the team, and then 40% of that buys dark right off the market and puts it in the pot. So the jackpot is half dark, half eDAI.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's something we want to do, is if we can drum up some business and get some degens in there playing, then
Later on in the show, can we demo it?
Yeah. Do you want to pull it up here? Let's give it a
shot. While you're doing that, let's say hi to people in chat. Okay. Hex G Banger, this is my little mini Panama hat that I got as a souvenir from Panama. How are you, buddy? John Soleil, welcome. These glasses are my degen glasses, and we start talking about degen stuff. I try to put them on, but if I need to read, I can't. Welcome, Derek. Welcome, Ted. John Soleil, welcome. Smo Spider, Red Squirrel, Crypto Cat 46 has been popping up in a lot of stuff lately. Welcome, buddy. Glad you're here. Elizabeth Machado, hola. I actually spoke to Walrus today, so I've said hola several times.
How's Walrus?
Walrus is doing good. He's still in El Salvador, chilling, drinking coffee, going to the gym, doing crypto stuff. He's got a pretty good life. Steve Stash, welcome. Believe in yourself. Bright Light was one of the first ones in here. Smo Spider was the very first post, though. Welcome, Smo.
Way to get him. Mix, aka J Soul, wants me to put on some glasses, apparently, because you guys both have glasses on, and I'm the only two-eyed kid here.
We do, though. Triplet Dad's glasses are more utility-driven than mine. Perhaps.
Utilitarian, yeah.
I don't know how much I'll be able to see out of these ones, but these ones are the old Michael.
Like
I can't see the screen at all with these ones. I'd look cooler, but I just am having a hard time seeing the screen.
See, if I go full degen.
Let me clean off the smudges and see if that helps. Maybe it's just smudgy.
Oh yeah. So this is going full degen or going out to ride the dirt bikes. Yeah. That's what these are. 100%.
Those look like they'd be pretty good in a side by side too.
So yeah, side by. Somebody broke into my truck once and left my glasses. They didn't like my glasses. Which is hard to believe.
So I can see really well sideways, but these are Polaroids. So if I go like this, everything goes black. So I just have to. I'm just gonna stream like this. I can see it pretty well like this.
Yeah, it works. It works. So what did we have in the news this week, you guys, that we would like to talk about? I know that there was the thing with Rackham is starting to surface quite a bit, yeah, which is kind of cool. I think it can't be bad. I don't think.
It depends. It depends what he does, right? So if if he does good things, it's good. If he does bad things, it's bad. I've yet to see. I would like to have faith, but I've yet to see a faith-worthy item from him just yet. But like I've sort of heard some posts on Twitter that he's looking to back some projects and that kind of thing. So curious to see how that turns out. I've heard he's starting to look to get something going with people on the Pulsechain, though I don't really know what.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is either. I have thrown my hat in the ring for that, right? He wanted to create somewhat of a think tank. And I'm all about thinking, right? I like to think. I think I'm a halfway decent thinker. So I would like to be involved in the process of thinking, if that's what he's putting together. So if you're watching this, Mr. Rackham or Scuba Steve, I think Scuba Steve's involved with it pretty much. If you guys would like to have a next level thinker, give me a shout. Would love to be involved.
And if you need to go to the next level after that, you can call me.
Yeah. But he's from Canada and he's got tariffs on him right now. So I'm not sure if he can get down
25% tariff on all my ideas.
What do you think about your elections, sir?
I was up late last night watching my elections. It was a big upset because everybody thought the conservatives were going to win. There was I think like on Polymarket or something, there was like crazy odds in their favor up until relatively recently. But then the liberals made a comeback. So that was like Justin Trudeau's party. He was very unpopular recently, and he stepped down. And this new guy, Mark Carney, ran, and he took it. Let me just check the results.
And do you think there was any funny business like when like in I think it was Detroit or something, they were taping up Domino's pizza boxes in the windows so you couldn't see the handling of the votes? Was there any funny business that you know?
No, like there's almost no talk about that kind of stuff in Canada. Like it's, there was some like advanced polls and stuff like that, but like it doesn't have the same sort of conspiracy theory. Nobody's really wondering about, like, oh, was there, a million fake votes and so on and so forth. And like with the advanced polls or the mail-in ones, like it wouldn't have changed the overall outcome that much. I don't think anyway. But it is it is a minority government too, right? So it's like, meaning that you guys have the same thing in the States, more or less, meaning that they have to work with one of the other four parties to pass any bill, which I think overall is a good thing. And they can't make sweeping reforms, right? They have to get at least one of the parties or two of the parties, depending which ones, on board with any bill that they put through. So, and then as far as like the overall change, like this is just status quo, except for the new prime minister is a smarter guy. He was like head of like the Bank of England and the Bank of Canada and like, stuff like that. He's a pretty serious financial dude, and he's clearly very smart. So, what that turns into is going to be up for grabs. The funny thing is, though, the main reason that he got in versus the Conservative Party, which would be, more to the right, is because of Donald Trump.
There's backlash.
Well, it's because the Conservative guy, which would be closer in political standing to the Republican Party, right, than the liberals. The Conservative guy didn't speak up when Trump started talking about tariff in Canada and about Canada becoming the 51st state. He said nothing, right? And all the other party leaders said something, right? We're like, no, you can't take over Canada, and we'll tariff you back, kind of stuff. But the Conservative guy didn't say anything, right? And that destroyed him. He lost he had it in the bag, which was like there was 90% chance it was going to be a Conservative government in Canada. And he screwed it up by not standing up to Trump, which Trump probably also does not respect, right? I think he's more likely to respect the guy who says, like, who actually stands up and says no. So, like, that's why the Liberals got in. But, like, the Liberals are the next party to the Conservatives as far as to the right. Like, it goes Conservative on the right, then Liberal, and then there's, like, NDP and Green Party and stuff like that. But the Conservatives also took a ton of more seats than they had before. So it's almost a two-party system in Canada when you look at the numbers now. When realistically before you would have said it was a 3 or 4 party system in the last election. So could be an interesting couple years, but I think it'll be mostly status quo.
Yeah. Well,
when are you running for prime minister, Fast Abdoul?
My dark past may prevent me from running. There's been several incidences with blackface and other shenanigans. Oh no, that was the last prime minister. Wait. Yeah, no, I totally could. Yeah, but yeah, it would be that would be terrible. I don't like like fighting with people on Twitter and stuff like that, or getting in any sort of conflict. I want things to be mellow all the time. I can't see that working out for me.
I think the death knell of your campaign would be that you're masquerading as a shady Muslim on Twitter named Fast Abdoul. I think they would go after you for that big time, buddy.
It's not quite blackface, but yeah, I could see the opposing party picking that up. Then there's that. You remember that retardai coin that I launched? I'll just throw up the logo here.
Yes.
I could see my intentions were good, but I think for political purposes, it might not be good. Like it's not really the kind of thing a politician wants to push to the front.
Oh gosh. All right, Pulse Ray, I am gonna add your screen.
All right, let's try this. As soon as I switch this, it's going to freeze my camera, which is okay. I'm used to that. But if you go to our favorite website in the entire world, agproject.io, or as my wife says, amazon.com, you can see the Ping Miss Whale game is now where the Wishbell used to be. So you just come here and click on it. And then, of course, you want to connect your wallet. My wallet's already connected right here. And it says 0 out of 100. So it looks like a brand new game is ready to be played. So I'm going to put in, I'll put in 20 tickets right now. We'll let some other people here in the chat jump in with 10 or 20 tickets, whatever they feel like. And then we'll fill this baby up with 100 tickets. Like I said, this used to be 369, so we'll see if the UI is updated, but it was only covering the top half of the globe. So it looked like an eyeball when you spun it around, like the inside of an eyeball. It's kind of cool. So either way, we'll have fun with that. And then you guys, of course, can join as well. It looks like it's about 23 cents that I'm paying on gas right now to buy 20 tickets, which it's pretty good. That would be $100 of DAI if we were live. And then you'll see it'll actually display your tickets here on the side in green. And as your players are taken out, it'll change them to red. So you got your tickets over here. Here's the last three winners. You have number 2 won the first round, 54 and 53. So it looks like the lucky numbers are right there in the middle. So people might want to try and grab somewhere in the 50s there. But as people join this game, this progress bar will fill all the way up, and then it'll go away, and we will actually see a jackpot box show up over here, and we'll show the total number of players over here.
Is there like heads exploding and stuff like that? Like,
not yet. We sometimes, depending on which, it's weird. It's not consistent, but something light where the where the people used to be, the numbers used to be. And as you can see, I've got 1 through 20 right here on the top of the globe. And the globe's kind of fun. When it's not spinning, you can move it around. You can spin it, with your mouse. Do fun stuff like that. You can zoom in and you can zoom out like this. So you can have a tiny globe. You can go really up close and personal with your letters, with your numbers. Let's see if I can spin it. No, it's just letting me do that. So yeah. So there's my 20, and then the other numbers will populate as other people join. Again, this is live on mainnet. And so we've been upgrading some of these things. Oh, and we'll also see the new buttons, which are 1x, 5x, 10x. And that's, obviously to get the game to go even quicker so people can get their dopamine fix faster or slower.
So. And what do you need to get a ticket? Pulse. That's it, right?
Pulse. Yep. You just pay the fee in Pulse right now. And then when you snipe, it's going to charge you anywhere from 3 to 17 cents in Pulse right now for it to go get the number from the random number generator and show you who has been eliminated up here. And we're looking forward to Whisper getting ready to go live and maybe use the Whisper in place of our RNG right now.
Bright Light, Ted Nelson, any of the guys that are involved with this, if you guys can try to get some of these tickets. I would actually get some tickets. All of my USB ports are taken up with cameras and lights. Otherwise, I would hop in and buy the other 80.
Here we go. Someone just jumped in with 20 more.
Awesome. That whole thing right there is kind of trippy.
It really is. Like it when you get all the numbers on here filling it up, it kind of looks like a hypnotic snow globe while it's spinning. And you can spin it on an axis, you can spin it straight up, you can look at it backwards or forwards like this. It's kind of cool that the numbers stay facing you as well.
Yeah, so they don't reverse when they go on the other side?
No, you're always looking at them from the front. I see. I think it looks kind of like an eyeball right here.
Yeah, it does. Like
from the inside
eyeball.
of an eyeball when you're.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. We got a bunch more players. We're 70% full out of 100. We need 30 more players. And yeah, the UI is going to change to where these fill up the whole globe, because like I said, it was originally written with 369, and now we're down to 100. Hey,
what you up to?
It's just streaming.
Oh, hi, just streaming.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm just walking in on a stream, like normal.
We've got Fast Abdoul and Marcus in the house.
Cool. Hi, guys.
Hello.
All right, I'll leave you alone. Sorry.
No, you should join the game. You should go get on your laptop.
I'm not going to do that.
And use your favorite crypto wallet. Honey, what crypto wallet's your favorite?
MetaMask.
You just know that's the name, right? It's not really your favorite.
It's MetaMask. It's my favorite. I use it. Or CowSwap. I like the move sound that CowSwap makes.
Yes, CowSwap is her favorite wallet.
No, that's not a wallet. It's an exchange.
Whoa.
Check me out.
Okay, touche.
I know that.
She's showing off here.
My favorite is one I don't even know. I don't know any.
Okay.
Apparently, I'm scamming again. I just noticed that. Oh dear.
All right. So we got room for 20 more tickets, I believe. Right now we're at 80 out of 100. So I'm just letting more people join so that they have more of a vested interest in this. We've just been doing stuff like giving away some fuel cells to the winners so far, just to get some feedback and some engagement. And like I said, the first few games that we were playing took hours, and so we've learned a lot just by playing it ourselves and playing it on stream. All right, 20 more tickets. You guys can do it. Don't make me grab 80 through 20, 81 through 100. Someone else can grab those ones.
Let's see. I can't do it. I don't even have a hot wallet.
You don't even have a hot wallet?
No, I don't. I have a hot wallet on my other computer in the house. That's the one I took with me to Panama.
Yeah.
To do the RNG stuff with Randy.
Okay.
But I don't have one here.
And this kind of works on mobile. I haven't played this on mobile yet because I don't have wallet on my mobile. But there we go. We got 100 players now.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
100 players. We are ready to go. So we have the 1X, the 5X, and the 10X. And my guess is that someone is already tapping these buttons, and we're going to see some eliminated players here pretty soon. But I'm going to start us off with a bang. I'm going to go with Snipe 10x and wipe out 10 right here. Did you guys hear the gunshot and the reload? Let's see here. Fast.
I don't get any audio.
It's about nine right here. 9 cents to take out about 10 people. So yeah, we took the fees of this game from $40 in Pulse down to anywhere from 3 to 9 if depending on how fast the network is. Look at this. So we've eliminated 9, 21, 28, 45, 72, 74, 75, 84, 90, 99. So as you see on my list over here, I took a bullet number 9. Number 9 is gone. Sayonara number 9. And as you can see up here with the jackpot, again, half of this is going to be in E-die and half of this is going to be in dark. So a smart contract that will actually take 40% of the pot, go to the market, buy 20 dark, or buy as many dark as it can get for that $200, and that will be added to the pot. So you'll have about $200 in die, for $200 in dark, and then 100 going to the team, which may or may not add buy pressure to the tokens in our ecosystem.
That's awesome.
Look at this
that comment that was on the screen, you guys. I've been doing business with freaking Fast Abdoul for a very long time. He has done everything but scam me personally. That's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, that's just this one weird guy who is angry at Hexy Bastard and tried to blackmail me into helping him get Hexy Bastard, but I did not play with him. And now he says that me and Hexy Bastard beat up a girl with cancer and drained her wallet is my favorite one he does, which is not true. And Hexy Bastard kind of runs a competing dex to what I do. So we're actually competitors. We don't work together at all. So it's almost funny if the guy wasn't such a sociopath. But if you know who the guy is, I recommend everybody just block him on Twitter and anywhere you can find him. But I'm not gonna dwell on it.
Very, very, very tough to be in cahoots with a guy who's in Thailand 95% of the time and doesn't reply to DMs or Twitter comments or anything, right? Hexy Bastard's gone.
He'd be a terrible crime partner.
Yeah, 100%.
He would never show up to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at this. We're getting this. This game is basically over. We've got 2, 6, 22, 24, 31, 36, 42, 59, 63, 65, 67, 10, 14, 20. I think it says I've got 10 left, but I don't think I've updated this. Let me refresh the screen here and we will bring this back down. Yeah, I'm down to 7 people, 7 players or numbers out of 100, and there's 39 left. So right now I'm sitting at about a 25% chance of being the last man standing. Well, not anymore because we just got 7, 33, 37, 41, 46, 58, 60, 80, 6, 92, 95. Those have all been eliminated. I don't even have to hit this button. But let me ask, are you guys hearing the rifle crack yet, or did I lose that?
No, we don't hear the rifle.
We have no
crack,
sound.
buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, dang it. Yeah, there is a fun rifle crack and a reload of a bolt action gun. When you click these buttons, it's just rather satisfying. Again, we got a whole bunch more eliminated right here.
You have to unmute. It's telling me that I need to unmute the audio, and that I can't do it because you need to unmute it on your screen. So
for some reason, I think I moved my microphone and it unplugged my speaker for a second.
No. Go to the screen that you're sharing.
Yes.
And
that
little window at the bottom, you can turn on your audio on your side, I think.
Yeah,
It's all right, buddy. We're almost at the end here, but I
We'll
want
figure it out. Like I said, I'm
may
sure
be
we have a winner, even though I haven't refreshed the screen. Yeah, 53 has been eliminated. I've got 3, 5, and 12 still in the mix, it claims, but I think if I refresh this screen, we'll see a new round starting right here. And we'll see the winner. And nope, there's still 3, 5, and 12. Nope, 5's been eliminated. So really, it looks like I'm the only player left. Looks like I'm the last man standing, which is not the way I like to play the game. I don't want to win every time.
You bought 20 tickets, right?
Yeah, that doesn't encourage people to join your casino when the casino wins. But let me just hit that button right there. And as you can see, when we get underneath 10 and 5 players, these 2 buttons go inactive right here, because you can't eliminate that many players. But like I said, pretty soon here, we are going to be down to figuring which one of these numbers won, either 3 or 12. And it looks like it was 12. 12 was the winner right there. Boom. Boom.
nice.
I know Hex T. Armstrong played round 3, or maybe no, round 2. And his, my dev only had like 2 players, and he ended up winning the game. So he wasn't happy about that. But yeah, we'll be playing this on stream, giving out prizes to the winner. I'll let everyone else see. Like, look at this. So the next game's already filling up right now. Someone already bought 36, and that's the thing is, if you know, like, crypto bros are degens through and through. And so the first thing they're going to do is look at this game and say, well, I can't buy out the pot because, you have the team rake. So that leaves me, how many of these tickets would I want to buy? I see a lot of people buying like 5 or 10 of these tickets at $5 a piece and trying to get, a 1 in 5 chance or a 1 in 10 chance of walking away with the pot. That's how my degen brain works. And so that's kind of what I think other guys are. I mean, you might have someone trying to buy half out, buying 50 tickets for $250 and trying to walk with the 400. But, if you don't win, that's you can't play too many of those games. Then again, there's the martingale method, right? Are you guys still listening?
Yeah.
You guys were just quiet, so I thought maybe my mic.
Oh no, I know. I'm actually mesmerized by the circle spinning numbers.
Yeah, I was gonna say the martingale method, which is my preferred method of playing blackjack back in the day, was to double down every time you lost, right? So look at this. We already have 80 tickets sold out of this game. And so basically you would buy 1 ticket and play around. If you lost, you'd buy 2 tickets, then 4, then 8, then 16, then 32. And then eventually, 64. But buying 64 doesn't, if you win the pot with 64, you basically win all of your bets back at that point, if that makes sense.
That sounds like you like buying on red candles.
Yeah, it's like buying on red candles is what it is. Yeah, I wish I could get this going. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and restart it and see if it'll bring that sound back, because I am quite fond of that sound. Let me jump over here. Stop.
When you reshare, press the share audio button. There's a button for that when you're sharing. Yeah,
maybe I didn't have that one pressed. Here we go. So I've done it again. I've shared it again. Pull it up there in the green screen. We'll see if we can hear the gunshot this time.
Oh yeah, I've got it should work.
Yep, we got 100. We got 100 players. Do you guys prefer the forward-looking eye, or do you prefer being inside of the eyeball?
Let's do a little of both.
Yeah, makes
this one. All right, let's do this one right here. And I'm going to snipe. So tell me if you can hear the gunshot.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And this one looks like it's going to cost us about 3 cents. So it's kind of like buying real bullets. You're actually paying for every bullet you're shooting. Only, you're getting value at 5x and 10x on your gas. So yeah, see, I just eliminated number 2. I don't have any tickets in this, by the way, because I didn't join, but there's a bunch of other people here that have jumped in. Oh, look at that. Someone's eliminated 10. Let's go ahead and try 10. Like 10 of these. And we're going to go to fast on our OKX wallet, which is about 7 cents. And then I assume other people are clicking 5 and 10x as well, playing this. I'll tell you what, if whatever address wins the game, I don't have your full address here. This is just a truncated version. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at all those guys have lost. But yeah, send me your address of the full address, and I'll send you one dark matter token and one J4 fuel cell. How's that sound?
That's awesome.
Let me write. I also have to write that down, or I will forget later what.
Can we talk about the fuel cells for a minute? What's the deal with the fuel cells?
I think he's writing.
He's frozen.
He muted himself.
I think he's frozen though. He's also not moving.
Sorry, guys, I accidentally muted myself there by adjusting that microphone. No, I was saying too many people have followed our instructions yet again, and so you like the forever screen. Let me go back to this
Indeed.
one. Yeah, too many people have followed our instructions as always. We have the most loyal and obedient group in crypto, almost to a fault, and so we assumed there'd be a 10% participation rate on minting the dark into fuel cells outside of the evil address. That's a smart contract that's set to mint, and so we're sitting at almost 500,000 NFTs after 4 mints. So basically, what we're looking at going forward is, unless some drastic measures are taken by the collective, it's going to be very difficult going forward to earn one entire dark back for your dark that you're minting with. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
it does.
And that's the problem with having a token that doesn't inflate, right? Is that there's only so much to go around. It's actually scarce. But then again, human behavior is such that unless someone thinks they're going to get a good deal, they're not going to take action. And so we are waiting to see what's going on with the collective and the fuel cells, because as we've seen before, we'll wait till this finishes spinning, but I can take you to those screens as well. Look at that. So 6B5A is the winner with number 73. So 6B5A, DM me your full address, and I will hook you up with the dark and the J4 NFT right there. And now
where is he going to DM that to you, buddy? If you are in the,
this is a fairly recognizable last four that I see right here.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they're already in the community. If they're not in the community, you can DM me on X, and you can also DM me on Telegram.
Watch out for scammers. Max won't DM you first.
I won't. I will not DM you first. So yeah, send me that. But here we go. If we jump over here to our beta page right here, or actually no, I got two of those. Let's try this again. Let's go to tools on the main page. That'll take us to beta.agproject.io. And yeah, if you look at the treasury, there's 465,787 fuel cells minted, but there's only 1 million dark. In fact, there's less than 1 million dark because a handful of them got burned. So yeah, the math doesn't equal really good. So going forward, it'll be really interesting to see the game theory of who mints and why, and really what they're expecting going forward, if that makes sense. We do have, of course, the lottery, which people may mint just to see if they hit it big in the lottery. But I think in order to hit it big in the lottery, we're going to have this evil scrape button turned back on in the future sometime. So until this evil scrape button is turned on, the lottery's set at 1 1/4 dark, 3 3/4 dark, and 7 1/2 dark. So
and tell them the scrape button scrapes winnings from the evil address's previous lotto winnings, right? And puts
Yeah.
it back in the lottery, right?
Well, this scrape button right here would scrape your winnings and put them back into your wallet.
Right.
And I like check out my dark balance right now. It's 33, 33, 3. It's kind of cool. I wish I'd planned that. No,
that
this
seems
evil,
like it's half evil.
yes,
right?
it's half evil, half evil. But this is the button that would need to go live for people to scrape again. I don't think, from the chatter we've heard on the radio from the collective, it doesn't sound as though this button is going to go live anytime soon, unless some crazy stuff happens in our market, right? Like this basically is keeping thousands and thousands of dark off the market and out of the lottery. So it's putting the pressure on the scarcity of the token right now. But this may go live at any time in the future too. So this is a question mark. This is a wild card, if you will. And then this mint right here, this is just for you to mint for the evil address if you want to mint the evil addresses tokens. But that's a two-edged sword because you're pumping more dark into the treasury and lottery, but it's also competing against you in the treasury and the lottery for yield, right?
Right.
So going forward, it'll be really interesting to see who hits this button and why. Not that it, stops anything. It just basically prints the evil addresses prematurely, but the smart contract will print these regardless of whether people punch it. People just really like pushing buttons, as we can see on the Pink Miswell game, right?
Well, that's kind of cool that you've got something that they can punch buttons on now, right? With this new game. I like the new game. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. So that's it in a nutshell. We have about a third of the entire supply in the treasury already, set to be paid out. But like I said, there's a lot of people that have minted, and we did not anticipate this many people acted like doing this. I mean, some of this is from the mystery box, obviously, and the evil address, but a lot of this is from Wales and other people that really saw early on the value of minting and jumped in journeys, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and got those ones. If you go to pulsemarket.app, these guys are pretty cool. This is where we're one of the highest traded NFTs on their website right now.
Nice.
But you can tell by the art, the walking astronaut is J1. The movie poster looking one right here from Red Squirrel, this is J2's artwork. He's featured in J2. And then Elizabeth in chat, she is, we have Journey 3. This is by Sykes69. This is actually a 2-minute movie trailer. But we had to do a still for the NFT because we didn't know how to compress 2 minutes down into metadata. So this is the Journey 3, as you can see the J3 up in the corner. And then, like I was saying, Elizabeth in chat came up with this beautiful piece that won the last art contest right here, which is for Journey 4. You can see the J4 right there. So that's awesome. To identify them. And each one of them goes down 10% in yield. So like these J1s right here, the walking spaceman, those split 3% of the treasury every 45 days forever. The J2s split 2.7% and then 2.43, 2.187, and so on.
Okay, sounds like a job for a spreadsheet to calculate the value between them, right? Because you might have a deal on J1s, but there could be a deal on J3s where they're improportionately cheap for how much less that they yield, right?
100%.
Right.
I've seen the spreadsheet. It's very crazy.
Yeah, and really, I mean, they all have a cash value if you were to vaporize them. Over here on our website, you can go to vaporize, and I have the 52 I have in here. Let me put those in here. I don't want to vaporize them right now, but if I were to approve and vaporize these, I'll click on View Selected Fuel Cells. This will show you the cash value in dark that each of them hold. And you'll notice that Journey 4 doesn't have any yet because Journey 4 hasn't finished its first cycle. So it hasn't been paid out yet. It's at zeros. But if we go down here to Journey 3, they've accumulated 5% of a dark back. Journey 2 has accumulated almost 10% of its dark back.
Nice.
Right here.
This is kind of like Watsa, like that they had for Icosa, right? Like
Yeah,
you just keep going and going until you burn it.
Yeah, imagine Watsa NFTs if the Icosa was not inflationary and if there was more than one mint. So Icosa had one mint for 14 days, and we have 33 mints each for 11-day windows, and so as you can see, the J1s are accumulating the most. They got 13% of theirs back already. So going forward, it'll be very, very interesting to see what the collective does. The collective is our community, and the collective is the collectives who actually hacked that evil button that you saw earlier on the evil tab. So they hacked these two features from the evil address, and they've been working very, very hard trying to hack the evil addresses NFTs. That's what they've been talking about the most. So we'll see if they're successful at that. But if they do hack the evil addresses NFTs and mess with those, then all bets are off with the treasury, because then you would be competing with way fewer NFTs for yield. Just something to think about. Just throwing that out there.
Well, welcome, RH Max. That period of time when Pink Mist Whale was slinging J1 and J2 fuel cells like they were candy. You can see now how those fuel cells, although they're not in the lottery anymore, are accumulating dark matter like nobody's business.
Yeah, they've got a clear advantage. We've been crunching some numbers on spreadsheets. We shared them a little prematurely. We gave people some incorrect data based on what we thought. We showed people these insane payouts, and then we realized that would equal 3 million dark, and that our math was wrong because there just doesn't exist 3 million dark, right? And so we went back. We're going to make sure that the spreadsheets are deadly accurate before we share them again. But it just still goes to show, you can see just by this chart right here that, yeah, J1s are going to outpace every payment going forward. And the other thing, the one thing I will show, if I've got it here, let me see, is that it? No, that's not it. This one right here.
Cat 46 says that if you vaporize, you get an air fryer. Is that correct?
We should add air fryers to our reward point system.
Yeah,
we really should.
I think air fryers are kind of.
Let me share this screen right here real quick. As you can see, this is the rise and fall of the treasury. So this is the bloat and the exhaust of the treasury. And like I said, this was based on just the evil address minting at first, and these were rather small payouts right here. But these are 20,000, 40,000, 60,000. So somewhere around Journey 8 or 9, 7, 8, 9, there's going to be about 50,000 dark paid out to the participating fuel cells. And again, J1's going to get the biggest cut, and then it goes down from there. So the stuff that you've minted back here in Journey 7 and 8 that's when we expect people to get blown away by the yield of a token that may be very, very difficult to get your hands on. So, yeah.
Very cool, buddy. Very cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of levers, a lot of moving parts. This is way too complicated for actual, crypto project, I think. It's
I don't think it's that complicated. I can show you more complicated. Like the actual participation isn't that hard, right? Like People don't have to press that many buttons to participate. They just have more options, right?
It's not complicated, says the man that operates Two Fucks and Bribery, right? That's all relative, I believe, right?
We have, we have a wrap from Corey Investor. It says, first you get the dark, then you mint the fuel cell. It's an NFT, one that earns yield. As long as you have it, it feels like magic. But if you vaporize it, that'd be tragic. Now, granted, he says it cooler than that. But that's the simple premise. Then again, anyone who hangs out with Yellow Cake and talks to Yellow Cake on a regular basis, I don't think they're qualified to say what's simple and easy and what's
You've
not.
obviously had a conversation with Yellow Cake. Right? It's not intuitive.
No. I remember hanging out with him in Vegas, and for every sentence he would say, I'd be like, quick question, like, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? And what does this mean? And he'd like have to dial it way back just for me to like catch crumbs of what he was putting down. I mean, that's a brilliant brain right there. Yeah,
he thinks different than other people.
He definitely, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, shout out to RH Max. Looks like I'll be on a community panel Monday evening with, I believe, both you two.
Oh,
and
really?
Sloth. Like, there's so many. That's such a packed schedule that he has there. It's insane how stacked that is with big brains and builders and influencers.
Oh, we're on with Crypto Sloth.
Yeah, I believe he's in our panel for the community panel.
I have some dentistry questions.
That's good.
Nice.
Yeah. CryptoCat's talking about the Pink Miss Well chart. Do you want me to pull that up real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
It's a wild chart.
The Pink Miss Well
chart.
That
is a wild chart. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, the Pink Miss Well chart is a doctorate's degree in what happens when someone actually has diamond hands, right? Like, here's the Pink Miss Well and Wrap Pulse chart right here. It's pulling up right now. Let me try reloading the page and see if that helps. I'm using I bet you the Pink Miss Well games using all of my RAM.
RH Max is completely correct there. The freaking air fryer, it does produce a superior result, right?
Oh, yeah. No, for sure.
Have you guys ever reheated pizza in the air fryer?
Yeah. It tastes like it came out of the pizza oven.
Yeah, it feels like it just came out of the oven. It's the best.
Yeah. Now let me do this chart in USD right here. We'll put it in log and auto. And as you can see, well, we first just did this on Pump.Tires. We threw out this token and we told people, if you send this token to the Pink Miss Wells address, then we will send you. We were giving out dark. We were giving out a ton of J1s and J2s back there before people had an inkling of their value. So people were sending millions and millions and millions of tokens to the Pink Miss Well. And up here where it kept climbing, I think he only had like 50 or 60% of the supply right here. And let me know if I need to make this full screen or zoom in, because let me just make this full screen so you guys see it better.
Ty's awake.
Hey, what's up, Ty? Good to see you, man.
Buddy?
I appreciate everything you've done at OX Bistro. It's looking killer.
Yeah, it looks pretty smooth.
He is promising everybody an air fryer. So he wakes up
everybody gets an air fryer.
Gives everyone an air fryer. That's awesome.
Air fryer.
We are the Oprah of air fryers. So right here, the Pink Miss Well took its Pink Miss Well and dumped the entire stack for dark and minted twice here. And people were picking up dark, Pink Miss Well for 5 zeros and, that range. And then finally we said, you know what, because every time we dumped, this is the reason why OX Bistro is so good, is because OX Bistro keeps all that economic energy between the two people setting the trade and making the buys. But we noticed every time that the Pink Miss Well would dump and rebuy, we got more. It took more and more of the supply in his hands to pump the price. because the bots were front running these huge orders and taking that economic energy. And so eventually we just said, well, why don't we just hang on to it? We'll see how high it'll go. And as you can see, it just kind of took off from there. This is the fat finger mistake right here from Vegas. Big mistake right there on my part that crashed the price of both Pink Miswell and Dark 50% in 2 minutes. And as you see, the community's kind of pretty much bought it back up. We'll see where we go from here. But the Pink Miswell is, like I said, if all you do is buy a token and put it in the hands of someone who's not going to sell it, you can make any price chart scream. And almost all of our liquidity with Dark is now tied more with Pink Miswell than any other token. And Pink Miswell is now tied more to Dark than any other token, including this pair of locked liquidity from graduation that's in Pulse. So yeah, you got about 37 grand in liquidity with Pulse. And then I believe we've got close to 100 grand of liquidity tied with Dark.
So that was launched on Pumped Out Tires, so that liquidity's burned the Pulse part, right?
Yeah, it's no one can pull this liquidity right here with the Pulse pair.
Cool.
That's correct.
Yeah, I honestly think that it's going a lot higher than what we see here. Like I think like that homie don't play that token to $1, Pink Miswell to $1, Actuator to $1. Those are the narratives that I think people should be promoting right now. Hex to $1. You know, those are the tokens that I believe are going to go to $1 and maybe higher, but at least to $1 just because I don't think anyone's messed with liquidity, supply, and scarcity like this before. You know,
Smo Spider says she's cooking with Steakhouse. If you want to create a pool in there, Smo, let me know. I will join it.
Yeah, the Steakhouse is doing really good with Hex. Really good. I was just looking up this Ethereum grade. So Ethereum got a little pump going on right here recently. And I think these are people anticipating the Pectra upgrade. They've scheduled Pectra for May 7th, but it's Ethereum and it's code.
It's a huge upgrade too. It's not.
Yeah, the last couple have been more like patches, right? And this one
is like a partial fork almost. I think it's weird. Yeah.
So if they pull this off, this could be the bull run for Ethereum and alts. You know, this was definitely the low of the low right here, about $1,400, and now, like I said, it's just popped above 18. It's funny, the UPS guy stopped by and he's like, "You're into crypto, right?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm into crypto." He goes, "What do you think about XRP?" I just groaned. I was like, "Bro, XRP are the biggest pack of lying pieces of shit on earth." XRP is like, you'll probably make money if you stick in XRP because I think that their narrative is very, engaging, but they've been lying for 12 years about all their partnerships and what they're going to do. And so he was like, "Oh," I said, "But, Ethereum might be a decent buy right now." And then I told him, there's also a dark matter token on Pulsechain you should probably check out. But anyways, I thought this was pretty interesting right here, this little pump. When you guys were talking about news earlier, I kind of pulled that up.
So. That's awesome. Welcome, Crypto7. I don't know if you've ever been on this stream before or watched it, so appreciate it. Thank you.
I think he's watching on Max's rebroadcast.
Awesome.
We're rebroadcasting all over.
Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Yeah. And let's talk about Smo Spider. Smo Spider sat in front of a computer for about 58 hours straight and just cut all of my ums and ahs and silly stories and dad jokes out of a tutorial. So we now finally we have a 20-minute tutorial on anti-gravity. It started out as a 2.5-hour stream with Bill from Actuator, and she was able to get an Actuator tutorial out of it, an OX Bistro tutorial out of it, and an anti-gravity. So
she posted something with me on the front page of it today, right?
Yeah.
And I had to send it to my wife because I don't have TikTok on any of my stuff because of China. So I sent it to my wife, and she says, "Oh yeah, you're all over that." I said, "Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Smo."
Just
Super famous, you guys. I don't know if you know that. I'm all over YouTube, Twitter, TikTok. I'm all over the place.
I just burned $1.
Not as much as Fast and Tool though.
Yeah. So like I said, Ping Miswell, that's a side quest. I would not sleep on that one at all because Ping Miswell doesn't make fat finger mistakes like I do. He's much more focused and disciplined with some of his stuff. And so I think we're going to see that head up very sharply once people, because I think that we'll still be giving away the NFTs for that. And some of those NFTs haven't been scraped from the lottery. So you could actually buy an NFT that has, 10 or 12 dark on it, ready to scrape immediately. So it's kind of like Willy Wonka's golden ticket when you're buying a candy bar.
That'll be awesome. I was thinking about vaporizing some NFTs just to see what happens.
You'd get the cash value. You'd get the dark right back in your wallet immediately.
I know. But it seems like everybody thinks it's so tragic because of the song, right? I was just gonna do some of it just to have everybody go, "What the hell is going on? Who's doing this?"
Well, like Patrick and a bunch of those guys were trolling in Telegram and Twitter back in the day, and a few people vaporized their fuel cells because they thought they would get better chances at winning the lottery. And they're like, "Okay, I vaporized my fuel cell. Now what do I do?" And I'm like, why did you vaporize your fuel cell? They're like, "Well, it doubles my chances of winning the lottery, right?" And I'm like, "I don't know who told you that, but they were messing with you, dude. You just lost a fuel cell. And you just shot yourself in the foot. You just nuked yourself." So yeah, Magic says Pectra is a hard fork. Interesting.
Yep.
And he says GG all the time now because he hangs out with Panos and KR, and everybody's full of GGs in there. So he's a full-time spaces guru. Mr. Ty is.
Yeah, Ty's the Twitter Spaces famous now, eh?
Yeah.
Those guys have done a good job with those Twitter Spaces, like running like 24 hours a day for the past 2 weeks. I think they've slowed down a little bit, but during the crisis that is now past, they were on it.
I love how we have crises that have now passed, right?
Indeed.
The SEC one being passed, the P-Dimenting being passed. Yep. I don't think we have any large crises on the horizon. But I love that.
Yeah, me too. Like everything's super bullish right now. The price on Pulsechain is generally down in the last couple days, but I have no reason to believe it's not going to bounce. We may see. I know it's another 60 days out before SEC stuff is finalized. Blah blah blah. But I think we're gearing up to RH coming back and maybe streaming again. We're seeing a lot of he's posting on Twitter. Did you guys see that thing he posted today with the it wasn't today.
Or the D-Bank replacement?
The D-Bank replacement. Have you looked at that at all? I have not.
I haven't looked at it. I did look at the comments because I was on my phone when I saw it, right? I looked at the comments. And the comments were very there's better ones out there, and I know Ty's got a lot to say about that because he's in there with a lot of those guys like Giga and those guys that are creating D-Bank replacements. So I hope those guys. I wish they could pool their efforts, right? I don't think we need to have 5 freaking D-Bank replacements. I think we need a good one or 2 good ones, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like if it's something that RH wants to do, but like if he can incorporate some of the tech that the other guys have done, right? Like I'm sure people would help him out.
Yeah,
You know,
100%.
because
100%.
it's not really a paying gig like anything like like Giga did that friend cabal thing and stuff like that, and there's the fatty.io etc., but they're all like cash drains, right? Like you're not going to make it big with a wallet explorer, as far as like having it be a big financial win for the creator. So if RH were to sponsor something like that and then just make it happen, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'm muting just for a second, guys.
Okay.
Sorry, the question is about the wallet, because I mean, DBank and Rabby went hand in hand. They were obviously getting their same price feeds and farm feeds from the same place.
Yep.
And now we've gone back to not having them. And Pateus is a pretty good place for price feeds and aggregation, but honestly, like we've been messing around with 9mm, and it's hit or miss sometimes. Sometimes you got to dip your toe in there and go in real slowly with liquidity, because sometimes their ratios are way off than even Pulsex.
Oh yeah, no. Well, anything with V3, you have to be careful that the price that is showing on the screen isn't an old price that doesn't have current liquidity, because you can totally wreck yourself, right? If you put in the wrong numbers, especially if you're the first one to create the pair. If you mess up that ratio, you could you could totally wreck yourself. It's definitely
that's exactly how I wrecked the price there with Pulse, Pink Mistwell, and Dark. Was I went in on an old pair of no permissions that was way off, and I ended up putting $20,000 more Dark in than I should have. And of course, the bots just instant, automatic. It was gone. A couple of my other pairs were gone. It was bad. It was bad. Like not bad Michael Jackson bad, but bad like Joe Jackson bad.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I've done similar things where I just wasn't paying close enough attention, and it's not that hard to do, right? So yeah, you have to be super careful with those pairs. But what I'd like to see with this Wallet Explorer that Richard's doing is rather than him developing his own wallet, making a really good DBank clone that other wallets could plug into to pull all the data, just like Rabby did. So it could be like any wallet could be the Rabby wallet for the Pulsechain and have that DBank feed with all the data we like to see on farms and all that kind of stuff, rather than just one wallet. Because that's as far as the goal, I think the goal of having like more wallets that show all the Pulsechain data would be a cooler goal than having like one wallet that Richard Hart launched. So yeah, if he's watching, which I'm sure he is, I hope he considers that comment that he could just make an app that other wallets could plug into to pull data to have Pulsechain DBank for any wallet. So Internet Money Wallet, for example, MetaMask, Rabby, if they wanted to, like anybody could pump this app in that was, it was no risk, right? It wouldn't it would just be a data feed, right? That other wallets could pull from to get all the information they need to show people what they want to know on the Pulsechain.
It's very unusual, right? So I've been using a lot of OKX lately, right?
Yeah.
And they have their full screen version, and then they have the plug-in version. Those two price feeds are usually off by a little bit, a few percentage of one another. Which is odd because you would think they are getting it from the same source. But I would have to say that they are maybe 80% of everything that DBank had right now. And the Ty's got a huge line of communication going with those guys. To where he's got buffet stuff listed up there, which we never even had, I don't think, with DBank. So there are ways to get your information up in a DBank format with the thing in there that says, "Would you like to create a report?" or something like that. It's not saying, "Hey, this is going wrong." They actually want to know what you would like added to their wallet, which is badass, right? So right now, it shows like you have X amount of MCR 369 tokens staked, and you have gained all of these stables, some Hex, some HOA, some 2FUCks, all the way down. It's very cool.
Yeah, that is cool. It's cool that they're responsive too, right? And like I think as far as wallets go, more is better. Like we want more wallet support for Pulsechain. Like the darling of the Pulsechain obviously is the Internet Money Wallet, because it's like it was built for Pulsechain and run by a Pulsechain team. But like, there's no reason we wouldn't want other wallets to support Pulsechain, which is why I think it'd be cool if there was like an app that wallets could plug in to get additional support without having to do the work themselves. I think that could be a thing.
Yeah, you think that because Rabby had the information handy to them because they had a wallet, that DBank was an afterthought for the community, right? Because they already had everything at their fingertips, right?
Well, so cart before the horse. Like you could do it in either order, right? Like you could build the DBank clone, the block explorer type thing that pulls all the data and have it pull into a wallet rather than pulling from wallets to DBank, right? So I don't think it would be that complicated, and it doesn't have to have any KYC involved at all, right? Like you just like pull it, put in a wallet address, right? It connects to your wallet. It's not like it's touching your funds at all, right? There doesn't have to be a single connect wallet option on that part of it. It can just be something that the wallet pulls data from to give you the information that you need.
And I've used KG's wallet. It's not my daily driver, but I've used it all the time, and it works. So props to KG. I think he's doing good things. If he could copy some of the attributes of the Rabby wallet, that would be awesome. And I think it's a little too late in the game where a large project, too much to ask for to pull that information and throw it into a DBank scenario. I think everybody in crypto uses DBank as a crutch to see where they're at, right? And to go blind on that in the blink of an eye is a little rough. And I think it's a little rough even for Richard Hart. Right, he wouldn't be creating this if he wasn't refreshing DBank just like we were, right? Totally. He fully had all of his wallets stacked and settled in DBank, and he was hitting refresh just like us, which is kind of cool. He wouldn't be working on this if he didn't do that.
Yep.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the Pi project, guys? What they're working on over there with the AI agent and they're trying to figure out a standardization for the cross chain problem.
I think they got a ways to go on the cross chain thing. That's not going to be an instant fix. I think in the future, like that's we're not going to talk about chains anymore. It's just going to be crypto, but their AI stuff is certainly cool. I haven't done a deep dive. What do you guys think?
I love those guys. I think they're awesome. I think they're next level thinkers, and they're coming out with stuff that is not the norm, right? They are not looking at what's available and forking something. They are starting from scratch usually on these things that they're doing and approaching it from a different angle. So I think that's cool. Nothing against forkers or anything like that. There are good dApps out there that deserve being forked, and we need them on Pulsechain. I do like it though when somebody out there says, you know what, this is what we need. This has a little bit of what we like, but we're going to go a different direction. I think that's awesome.
Have you guys tried their liquid staking with Pulse?
right now I have not. I am going to start taking some yield from my pools, converting it to pulse and putting it in their stuff, because Fast Abdoul is going to make a pool
Yep.
for all those tokens, which I think is it deserves one of these. There you go.
That was awesome.
That was an old school one, buddy. That was during the sack, I believe.
Oh, really? Okay, right on. Yeah, those guys recently did updates. They had like, it wasn't an error, but like there was an issue with their project. They made it too secure, so that you couldn't you couldn't redeem ST Pulse back for Pulse if you hadn't minted it yourself. And so then they fixed that problem, which is what I was waiting for. So now anybody can redeem ST Pulse they bought off the market, right?
Right.
So now I can make a pair that'll have probably like ST Pulse, STPLS, UPLS, like the one that Haunted did. What's their Validator X? Yeah. And then also the Vouch Protocol, VPLS. I can pair those three up with Pulse, right? So you'll have 4 assets that are basically Pulse, that are redeemable for Pulse. They can trade against each other, and you'll make fees off that. And then it can be a gauge pool, meaning it's a farm. You can earn FUX and 2FUX tokens. That's going to be like a super low risk, low to no impermanent loss pool that I think a lot of people want to participate in, that could do big numbers. Like you could put $1 million in a pool like that. Because it's assets that are equivalent of each other mostly, right? And there might be a small variance on the day, but
yeah. Oh, it's virtually single-sided staking right there. That's unbelievable. That's perfect. I love single-sided staking pools. You have quite a few of those on the print, right?
Yep.
So I'm a big fan of keeping the assets I have, putting them into a protocol, going and retrieving those assets, and also being able to get yield from those assets.
And you're compounding yield if you can do something like that, because those 3 liquid staking protocols, basically it's like you're running your own validator, validator light, we can call it, when you participate in those. So having those STPLS, VPLS, UPLS in your wallet, you're basically earning versus just sitting in Pulse. And then if you can pair them up and there's trading fees between them on top, right? Like long term, I think that will be a big win. People can earn more doing that than they'll be able to validating themselves logically. Or that's my thought, not financial advice.
Do you think that everybody out there understands that with 2FUX and FUX that you're also getting trading fees, or do you think that they're only thinking gains are coming in the form of FUX and 2FUX and other tokens?
That's a good question. Right here, I'll share my screen. We can take a look. Oh, we're up. Good. So as far as the fees go, like when there's trading inside the pair, people are earning fees in the token that is in the pair, right? So if we look at this agreeable index, which is the top paying one right now at 237%, we can click on this button and it shows us the swap fees as well as what they're earning in FUX and 2FUX. So most of the yield we can see is coming from FUX and 2FUX, but there's a small amount of swap fees there as well. And then if we find a pair that has lots of swap fees, let's see.
Shout out to Vets, by the way. I saw that coming up there. Vets is having a very tough day. So if you guys believe in whatever, thoughts, prayers, good vibes, all of that stuff, Vets could use it right now.
My prayers are out to you, Vets.
Yeah, I will say Hex T. Armstrong's homemade, like his handmade chains. Right here, he's got these chains that he makes by hand.
Nice.
I will say that Vets actually received his chain this week with a bunch of stickers that I sent him, and he was very touched by that. So thank you very much, Hex T, for sending those that way.
Yeah, it's awesome.
BME.
Which one of these is the highest fee pool, buddy?
I don't have a way to sort by fees, but often this pool lately has been paying great fees. So it's Prime Flux to Prime 2 Flux, 61% swap fees. So that means you're getting more of the assets in the pair. So you're getting more Prime Flux and Prime 2 Flux out of participating in this than you are with the yield tokens of 2 Flux and Flux. So yeah, there's definitely some higher fee pools out here. How about WHEX? Here we go. So Hex Parity Maxi paying only 20% right now, 8% fees in Hex to participate. What else we got? eMaximus.
Only 8%.
Pairs that some days pay a ton in fees. Oh, Bribery Farm. This is a good one. Oh, no, it's all in Flux and 2 Flux. 284% though. That's okay. Here's 99% swap fees on the Mine Your Business Pulse Bitcoin pool. That's pretty good.
That's solid as a rock right there.
Yeah, if these are the tokens you want, the ones in the pair, if you enter a pool that has high swap fees, that's what you're getting back. Here, this would be a good one too.
Shout out to Fat Sammy, by the way. Fat Sammy put out a post the other day that compared what we're going to go through as a renaissance, right? He said we had a plague, right? With a whole bunch of people that have fallen off or whatever happened to them, right? But it enabled a time of enlightenment, and we're going into a renaissance here on the Pulse chain. It was a great analogy, buddy. I like that you're active in this community. Good dude.
Good to see you.
How do you see how much who's winning with the votes? Because I know I locked up a bunch of 2 Fucks to vote for that pool, tokens that don't suck.
If you change, you can just go to if you're logged in, you go to the lock page, but we're not locked in, so you just go to app.2fucks/voting, and then you can actually see how many votes are going to each pool, right? So if we looked at the dark pool, it has 1.29% of the votes currently, which is pretty good. So it's, it'll just depend. And then like the biggest pool right now is probably the Bribe pool, Bribery Farm, 18.71%. So it's obviously that's a bunch. They all add up. And then you can also check on Fux.io to see what the applied votes are, because this is just on the 2 Fux side. And then once the voting period passes, then they get implemented on the Fux exchange. So it's every second Monday, the 2 Fux votes get pushed to the Fux exchange, and then they're active there. And since 2 Fux has a very large percentage of the voting power, 92.34%. So basically, we're running the Fux exchange as far as the votes go. 8% happens over there, and 92% happens on 2 Fux.
Well, that's finally an A, right? I remember I did a post in there in your chat, and you guys had 80-something% of the vote, and I said that's a solid B. And Yellow Cake goes, I would say that's an A, and I said I'm just going by scholastic standards, sir, and 82% is a solid B.
Yep, not bad. So even staking 2 Fux itself, or locking 2 Fux, is paying 15% right now, and then soon we'll have the bribe incentives on top of that. So I think people will do okay.
Do you have to continue to vote, or once you set your vote, if you leave it there, it stays in that pool?
You don't have to continue to vote if you're already voting. Here we go. Here, we'll pull up the dark pool. So right now, let's say that all those votes were you, right? And it was 1.29% of the total vote. If you don't make a change, it'll just keep revoting for that, with the exception of when you lock your 2 Fux tokens, which is what gives you the option to vote on the lock page. That's a 16-week lock. So every 16 weeks, you have to relock. And so your votes will stop counting after the 16 weeks is up, and you have to press the relock button to reset it so that you can keep so that your votes will count again. So that's the only action is relock once every 16 weeks.
And where do you see the counter on that 16 weeks?
Right here on the bottom of the page. So to tell you right now, if you locked at the moment it'd be for 3 months and 29 days. If this was connected to a wallet that had locked 2 fucks, right below here, it will show the date that your lock is ending, which is the date where you could withdraw the tokens or you could relock the tokens. And I think you can relock them about a week early so that you don't miss any voting periods. So just keep an eye on the lock page. So app.2fucks.io/lock with the wallet that you have the lock tokens in. And then you can just keep relocking them and your votes will always count.
Good to know.
Yeah. And there's a leaderboard here. You can see where you are on the list of top wallets.
If you were to take the same amount of dollars, right? $1,000 aside on some of these, let's just say a Bribery 2 fucks pool, right? And you did $1,000 aside on a V3. Where would you see more gains, do you think?
Realistically, like V3 would have its days, right? But like APRs are changing all the time, right? Because like every time there's a trade, the farming APRs on these, like where you get paid and the 2 fucks and fucks, those are more steady if there's votes dedicated to the pool. Like for this bribe pool where there's like basically locked forever 2 fucks, it's always going to be voting for this pool. It doesn't mean it's going to guarantee 284% because it depends on how many people are in the pool, etc. But it means that regardless of what the swap fees are, which are currently 0, meaning nobody's bought it today, regardless of what the swap fees are, it's still going to be paying, right? So swap fees can go up and down. The farming APR will be more steady overall, but the swap fees still matter. Like it all adds up. So whereas V3 is just swap fees, there's nothing else. So, there's kind of like an in-between there. And like V3 on the Fux Exchange, there's actually custom fee settings that a person can do when they create a pool. You can make it between 4 zeros and 1%, up to 10% per swap on a pool. Whereas I think on 9mm they have up to 3% you can put for like V3 swaps if you're trying to yield farm that way. So you actually have more tools on Fux in that regards.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Not to mention you can put up to 8 assets in a pool, so you can make
I'm not too surprised about the Bribery thing because I believe a lot of people are buying that off of Bistro, right? And that won't be reflected there. And people are getting a lot of 2 fucks for free. So I don't see there being a whole lot of swaps for that going on. And maybe when Bribery starts getting back to
Bistro is the place to buy it right now because there's no slippage. So even if the price dropped a little bit somewhere else, unless you're only spending $50, probably Bistro is going to give a better deal. And at the end of the next 30 days, which I think now is probably around 25 days or something, 22 days, whatever's on Bistro right now that's not sold will get burned. So then that'll just cease to exist and burned out of existence, not sent to a burned wallet. So we have that capability.
We have that capability too on one of our tokens. I think that's a good thing. They go poof, yeah. Yeah, it's cool. It's better for the tokenomics when you don't see it sitting in a like the dead address. I prefer they disappear from existence. Right. Any kill shots today? You missed it, Eric Lee.
Yeah, Eric Lee.
Yeah, we did 2 rounds of roulette today. There were many a kill shot, and unsurprisingly, the founder of the project won one of the rounds. So that's how that goes. That's how that goes. Don't be surprised that the founder always wins.
It's on round 6 now, so people would continue to play that probably while they're watching the stream, I'm guessing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's a fun little time killer, and when it goes live with everything, that'll be super cool.
Yeah, in fact, CryptoCat sent me a DM. And he said if you have 10 rounds a day of Ping Smell game, you could add $1,000 of buy pressure to a token every day.
Nice.
If the game ran 10 times a day, which I mean that's a lot, but not really in crypto. If you get a bunch of degens showing up and
if it's already run 6 times now, right?
Yeah.
That's a big deal. And by the way, I forgot to shout out. I popped this up when we were chatting. Thank you for the super sticker, buddy.
Yeah, score. It's nice when people give the super stickers and like, because it's just they're just, giving you a high five, right? It's not like they're putting up a comment. They just want you to read. They're just like giving you a thumbs up. You're doing the job. That's great.
Yeah, I've known him forever, right? He's a good guy. He gets a little controversial in some of the groups, but he's still a good dude.
Yeah, it makes it fun.
Yeah, I used to be right there with him being controversial, but now I'm a project guy and I try to stay neutral as much as possible unless a burning urge presents itself to me and I have to nut up a little bit.
I've become neutral-ish in my old age as well.
Yeah. They're on round 7. Get your tickets. Round 7. Hextree Armstrong is still going strong over there.
Hext's going to have to join a gambling anonymous group when this thing goes live with money.
12-step programs are there for you, HexT.
Yeah. So we're not playing with real money today, right? It's just testnet.
Yeah. It's mainnet, but no money yet.
Okay.
So you're paying real Pulse, but yeah, there's no money on the line. You're not buying in with DAI tokens yet.
Do we have anything else we really want to touch on? Maybe one thing. What did you guys think about the announcement from Jacob and Cable about that one chain thing? Did you guys dive into that at all?
No, not at all. What can you tell me?
It seems like Jacob is doing a like a redemption thing where you can put your Pulse Pot tokens in and get this new one chain token. And one chain is, I forget all the chains, but I off the top of my head, it's supposed to be Pulsechain, Ethereum, BNB, Sonic. I forget some of the other ones. I think it was like 6 chains that are supposed to have some interoperability with one token being the same value on all 6 chains. I find that I don't know how that works when you have when you have liquidity pools on all of them. But Jacob and Cable would probably be good guests for Pulsechain times in the coming days to kind of go over what they're talking about because it does seem interesting.
Cool. Yeah, we should have Jacob on one day. Here's another guy we should have on. We got Dipcatcher in the chat asking us what we think of FlexNet.
Yeah,
that's true. We did have that big announcement. If it's using Hex as a gas token, eHex, which I like eHex, by the way.
Is there a URL for FlexNet? Because it's not popping up on the top of a Google search.
Let's take a look. Yeah, flexnet.tech.
.tech.
Oh, it just so happens Abdoul is here for the tech. So it's a good thing that's a great ending for that.
I think Dipcatcher is probably even more here for the tech. He is it's probably realistically, he's probably one of the smartest people on the Pulse chain. I do not always agree with him, and I do not always enjoy his marketing style. But as far as doing the math goes, I think he's probably the strongest. So yeah, I wish him luck with this project. I have not done a deep dive yet, but the concept of using Hex on Ethereum as a gas token, like a layer 2 style, is pretty cool. I would like to do a deep dive one day. Maybe he'll come on for that, and we can go over the details. I want to know if can other people build on this chain? What functionality does it have? Is it a full EVM as far as how it works? what are the ins and outs, the actual technical stuff, in a way that I could understand.
Dip Catcher and I have gone at it a couple times, right? But he is trying to create good things for Pulsechain in large part, right? And the perpetuals that he put on, I've given him props about that all the time. Or those guys together, those are awesome ideas, right?
Yep.
So anytime you want to come on here, Dip Catcher, and on Pulsechain Times, we're doing this every Tuesday around this time, 1:00. We usually start Pacific. Come over. And you come on and explain it. You have a huge group of people watching you too. I'm not sure if you see much value in this, but if you do, we'd love to have you on the show and go over what you're building.
I think you would get value out of us asking questions and getting answers, because when you're a smart guy sitting in a dark room by yourself pressing the buttons, sometimes it's hard to relate to other people. I suspect he may benefit from us, pulling it out of him.
Yeah, I might wear a bucket hat for that and white sunglasses like he does when he goes.
Yeah,
I'll bring my tinfoil hat.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to get Brian to make tinfoil hats.
That would be good, because my tinfoil hat is kind of crappy, honestly. It's like the craftsmanship is not up to the same standard as Brian's other products. Like look at the inside of my tinfoil hat, and then look at this inside of like the no permissions hat, right? Like it's like this is superior craftsmanship by comparison. So if we can bring these together,
oh yeah,
that would be cool.
If you wear that hat, you're supposed to take the cardboard out of the front, buddy.
It's not working.
You're supposed to take the cardboard out of these?
Yeah,
Oh, have this cardboard.
Cardboard.
It's so much more comfortable now. And it looks better too. Look at
Good one. Shout out to Dip Catcher. He and Gold Key, when we used to hang out in Vegas a couple of years ago, I would throw some ideas out when we were working on dark matter and anti-gravity, and he would finish my sentence and then tell me why it wouldn't work. And he was right on both accounts back then. There were a lot of really bad ideas of trying to smash these tokenomics together. So shout out to Dip Catcher. We would not be where we're at without Dip Catcher or Maximus DAO and a bunch of the cool innovations that they put together. So yeah, big fan.
And he actually gave us some props on publicly on Twitter about Steakhouse on Ethereum. He thought that was awesome. So appreciate that, bud. We really do.
Good to remember that. And Frank Polanczyk, good to see you in here. Leader of a crypto mastermind with a very large group of people in there. They're, I believe, going live today. Today's Tuesday, right?
Yep.
We'll see if I can dip in there for a second and say hi, catch up on all that stuff, all the good stuff there. Any stake pooling is good for Hex. I went to the FlexNet, and immediately I wanted to manipulate the globe. So they have this green spinning globe, and I just started trying to move it and manipulate it. But it's just a really cool graphic in the corner there.
Is it like your number globe?
Yeah, it looks like it's green, but I can't move it or spin it. So we'll see.
V2 will have a moving globe that's manipulatable. I completely forgot about that. So FlexNet was a thing that we had that happened in Pulsechain this week. So I'm glad we touched on it. I'll take a look at the schedule, Dipcatcher. I'm not sure we have anybody on the show next week. We do have Midgard coming on either this coming week or the week after. They're going to tell me about their update. But the week that they are not coming on, you're more than welcome, buddy.
Cool. We have next week. We have RH Max is doing his thing, right?
And isn't that start on the 5th?
Yeah, it is the 5th. So
Are
which is
you going to
Monday.
wear a sombrero?
I don't own a sombrero, but I have many
Yet.
hats. So
You don't own a sombrero yet. Don't limit yourself.
that's true.
Cool.
That'd be racist. I don't want to be racist.
It does, this is California, and we celebrate Cinco de Mayo almost as hard as Mexico does. It is a real deal here. There are parties. There are. It gets crazy in California during Cinco de Mayo.
Less so in northern Canada, I suspect.
Yeah, I don't see that happening in northern Canada. So maybe some sombreros. Maybe since you're a beer drinker, you can get yourself a Modelo, right? That might help. That might help for Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, we have that.
We got to have a poncho, maybe a Kentucky Cheroot cigar from like the good, the bad, the ugly cigars. We'll see.
Like just one of those little stubs.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down.
Memories of sangria. Yes, it's a party here, big time. So are we? So what you're saying is we may miss next week? Yeah.
Well, we're have to just push the date. We should double check with Max and on the times because, I don't want to be on at the same time as him.
No, we don't want to have community shows.
And I think I'm actually on the screen there several times, so I need to figure out when that's happening too. But yeah, we don't want to just double up. We could happen before him though, or after, so we can just check the times that way too. We can keep it Tuesday, and if he's not starting till 8, we can keep our time or. We'll be flexible.
Funnel people over. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. If we do it right before and then like, hey guys, now go to this stream. Yeah. That's a good thing. I like when people do stuff like that.
Yeah, we'll try to funnel people over 100%. All right, we'll double check with that. So stay in touch with us on the Twitter, and you see us post in a lot of Telegram rooms. We'll try to get people updated on that. Maybe that would be a good time to do FlexNet, right prior to the show. Might have a good audience there, Dip Catcher. So awesome. My wife doesn't feed me grapes as I stream. That's for sure. Yeah,
nice.
I have had tacos brought to me while I stream, so that was awesome.
Indeed. Yeah. I'm a little bit jealous. My wife has stepped out. I could have my 9-year-old feed me grapes, but that's kind of gross.
Yeah, that's not good. I have memories of her bringing you beverages with umbrellas. That's pretty awesome.
True. She does that sometimes.
You had me crying on that one.
All right, you guys. I think we're pretty good. Unless there's some more grapes to be fed, I think we're solid here today.
Yeah, I already screenshotted that. We're good.
All right. Yeah, we'll cut this up and say this is what your founder is doing with the dark funds. He's having great.
Some of this. These have already been memed on our Telegram channel, but I
can just side by side.
Okay, side by side. This is actually on the thumbnail. You use this picture that they had right here. Damien wants me to take my hat off. Here we go. You ready?
That's awesome.
It's very.
I look surprised in this one. My eyebrows, I don't think are that high. And it says "by dark," so she got the shirt right.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think you should use that in all your marketing.
Now, this is my painting of her.
Oh, okay. Wow. Lovely.
Doesn't look anything like me.
I think I got it pretty close. I think I nailed it.
That.
The eyes are somewhat dark.
Yeah.
I think out of these two, clearly we can tell Max looks just like his. Oh, I can't.
Indeed.
Very similar. I see it striking.
I think this could be like a cop mugshot.
A mugshot.
It could be a mugshot.
Sure.
Like, have you seen this man? And everybody would be like, oh, that's Max.
Yeah, 100%.
Cryptic just says, "Why a black eye?"
Yeah, this one,
why?
it has like a black eye.
Yeah. I think they call that Irish sunglasses, right?
I think we call it horrible painting.
No harm meant to the Irish out there in the community. I'm an Irish guy myself, so very, very good, you guys.
Yeah. Those are actually going to be for sale on Pulse Market app as
I
NFTs.
tried to sell his for $50.
There's only one. There's only one.
Yeah, there's only one.
We'll accept Dark as payment.
No, I won't. I just want cash.
We'll pay the shipping.
I want all Dark.
Awesome. All right. Any other closing thoughts, you guys?
No, this has been great. Thanks for playing the Pink Miss Well game and catching us up on 2Fucks. That was time well spent, and I think our audience is caught up on some stuff too that they may not have been aware of. So yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
Smoke Spider for putting those little videos out. We really appreciate you. You do a lot of work in the background for a lot of projects. So that's awesome. Thank you, Smoke. All right. Well, good enough. Thank you, everybody. And we will see you next week. Not sure which time, but we will try to do a stream just prior to RH Max's stream and then funnel you guys into the 2055 Pulsechain conference.
Yeah. Exchange all of your Vietnamese dong for Ping Miss Well. It's pumping right now.
Awesome. Let me take the comments down and we'll go out, you guys. All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week. Cool.
It's Bass God on the track.
Welcome to crypto. We out here getting figures. Stop gambling and trading stocks. They're financial killers. But see, with every upside there's a slide. An embodiment of crypto is Hex. We got a winner. My name is Corey, an investor, and I'm winning. A Hexagon for life, I just retired, now I'm chilling. But see, I took an early L. Friends thought I couldn't tell if Hex was some magic money, and I was under a spell. But I exhale, cause my research, it didn't fail. I invested in Hex, then became a whale. I'm making waves now, I tell you there's a way how to stake it and forget it and chill in Dubai or Cape Town. But after the highs, there's always a drought. And that's when the scammers, the FUD, and the wolves are out. I'm trying to educate just to mentally stimulate people who felt like me, like I'm always missing my break. That's why I wait, man, I sit back, observe the bait. A piece of cake when the finished product's on the plate. So don't wait, go to hex.com, mate. Cause Hexagons rep from the US to the Aussie state. Which means we down under, I mean we underground. I see you haven't heard of us, millionaires all around. You heard of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and blockchain though? Well, Hex is simply better code, Crypto 2.0. Welcome to crypto, we out here making figures. Stop gambling and trading stocks, they're financial killers. But see, with every upside there's a slide. An embodiment of crypto is Hex, we got a winner. So, back to the story, investors, they see the glory within Hex. Through a DEX is verified, we don't need a Maury, which means no middleman. No man to tell a story, stories told. It's on the blockchain, just a few years old. But this about the money, and money rules the world in politics. And if it's in the wrong hands, your baby girl, we're here to make a change. My mind's on future gains, we change the conversation, but the money made is insane. Are you a Hexagon or not? Does Hex always make new highs? The truth. Where all the haters at, shaking in they boots, while we show up to these conferences in $10,000 suits. That's something light, we ain't talking about the drinks of flight. Hexagons shine like you stargazing to the night. That's something light. Hexaking shine like a stargazing to the night. Welcome to crypto, we out here getting figures. Stop gambling and trading stocks, they're financial killers. But see, with every upside there's a slide. An embodiment of crypto is Hex, we got a winner.
Track.
Konnichiwa!